Hello BSS, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here then just welcome. Hi, my name is Brenda. I do mostly paranormal videos here on my channel, so if that is something that you are interested in, please consider subscribing down below and turn on your post notifications so you do not miss when I post another video like this one. Now with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get right into today's video. Alright you guys, so as you can tell by the title, today I am going to be talking or reading to you guys actually some stories from Reddit about a couple of encounters with El Silbon, which is a folklore sort of thing from South America in general and different parts of like Venezuela and so on and so forth. I have covered this urban legend before in a previous video, which I will link somewhere in here, and there was a lot of different articles that I read about where this specific legend came from. And as you guys know, when it comes to like urban legends like this or myths like this, I feel like there's a lot of similar stories from a lot of different countries, and so I just know that it's from somewhere in South America and then also parts of Mexico as well, and people have had stories about their encounters with El Silbon from all over the place. So I am going to tell you a couple of them that I found on Reddit, so this might be a little bit more of a short video since there's only 2 of them, and then one of them just has like an update to it in another Reddit post. So either way, I hope that you guys enjoy these stories that I will be reading to you guys. Let me know of any other urban legends or myths that you guys would like me to find stories on or find like encounters on, because I have done a video before on encounters with La Llorona and with skinwalkers, so just let me know what else you guys would like me to do next. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our first encounter here. Let me pull up the Reddit app real quick. Okay, so this one, El Silbon. My father used to tell me the story of El Silbon. El Silbon was a young man in Los Llanos in Venezuela. He was a good kid, growing up with a loving mother and a drunk father. Oh, before I continue this, so they are going to tell us a version of the folk tale, basically, or folklore. I don't really know which one it is, but she's going to tell us a version of it. There are like I think 2 or 3 different versions, if I'm not mistaken. I think I only covered one version in the video that I did, and then I kind of gave a summary of the other one. But all right, moving along. One night when the boy's father had come home drunk, whistling a tune, he began to beat his mother. The boy, unable to just stand by as her mother was attacked, took a knife from the kitchen and stabbed his father through the heart, killing him. His grandfather arrived in the house and saw what his grandson had done, so he tied him to a tree in the backyard and whipped him until his back was raw and bloody. Once he was finished, he poured a mix of alcohol and lime onto his cuts, to add to his misery. Then he untied him and set off his rabid dogs after him. The boy had no choice but to run from the dog, his back bleeding a trail everywhere he went. It is said he ran for so long he never died, but rather simply became a spirit doomed to run forever. The whistle of his father stuck to his lips. His sound was said to be deceiving though, so when it sounded like he was nearby, he was actually far, and when he sounded in the distance, he was very near. He took souls sparingly, but put the bones of his victims in a sack he carried over his shoulder. My father had always called me La Silbona, because I had never stopped whistling when I was little. It was a title meant with love, one that came from the fact that my father didn't believe in El Silbon. So when I was walking home from a club alone at night, I didn't think much of my whistling, until another's tune joined mine. My tune was melodic, a song I'd heard in the club earlier that day. The other one, however, was just a scale. Do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. It sounded nearby, but I ignored it, thinking it was from a fellow partner walking home drunk. Then I saw a man. He wasn't the source of the whistling. His lips weren't moving, while the song continued, but he did look drunk out of his mind. Oye, mami, ¿quieres pasar un ratito conmigo? The man asked, inviting her to go home with him. No gracias, tengo novio. I turned him down, claiming to have a boyfriend at home. Pero yo ando aquí todo solito, dale, acompáñame. No? He ignores my decline and reaches for me as I walk by. Dije que no. I try to continue walking, but he has my arm in a strong hold, and I can't walk away. His disgusting hands travel up my arm and onto my shirt. One of them goes around my neck. Todas ustedes son putas, nunca con los hombres que serían buenos para ustedes. The man calls me a slut as he grabs me, the attack keeping me from realizing that the whistling I had heard before had gotten fainter and fainter until I could barely hear it. Ahora si te vas a quedar conmigo esta noche vas... But he stops talking mid-sentence and loosens his grip on me. I step back in confusion, then notice two things. First, a patch of red spreading across the front of the man's white shirt, originating from a little metal triangle, a knife I think, that went all the way through his torso. Then I noticed a tall, lanky man standing behind the drunk. His skin is pale, too pale from someone from these parts, his eyes full of hatred, but all pointed to the man in front of me. But what stands out the most is his lack of a shirt, and the angry red welts that I could see peeking out on his shoulders from his back. He's holding the knife, I realize, twisting it inside the drunk. As I see the life drain from the eyes of the man, I notice his back seems to be slowly covered in blood, an imitation of the attacker's injuries. The whipping marks made worse by the lemon and alcohol that now seemed to fill the air. Tú eres el Silbon, I say without meaning to. The spirit only meets my eyes after he withdraws his knife from the man. I could swear he even nodded his head in recognition to the title as he dragged the man's body away, whether it is for his bone sack or simply to cover his crime. It was in that moment that I realized that El Silbon isn't some random ghost who kills at will, but rather a protector. He isn't bloodthirsty, but rather someone who wants to look after those in the same situation as his mother once was. I could only stand there as he walks away, listening to the haunting scale grow closer and closer to me until it sounds like he is behind me. But I know he isn't. I rub my neck where the man had held it while I start whistling my own tune, this time a simple scale as well. Do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. And I hear one in response right at my ear as an answer and a farewell. Oh, that was a creepy one. I really, really like that one. I don't know if that one's real. It seems a bit dramatic and hard to believe, obviously. It might be like an encounter that was sort of just put together, so it sounds like it's something that happened for real. But either way, very, very spooky, and I really like that one because as you could tell in this version of El Silbon, he is just a protector and he is supposed to go after people who are, I guess, abusing women or trying to do something to women, just anybody with bad intentions. And the other version is of him being the one who is seeking out to just kill people in general. So, alright, that was the first one. Now let's go ahead and get into the second encounter I have. This one is a bit short, on the shorter side, but it does have an update attached to it. I already told you guys all of this in the beginning. I don't know why I'm doing it again. Okay, I'm gonna switch positions now. So I can be a little bit closer to the mic. Okay, this one's called The Whistler ? And it says, hey guys, this is the first time I've used Reddit, so I just wanted to share my story and get some advice. A year ago, me and my family heard whistling that sounded like it was coming from our basement. It was at night and it eventually went away, so we figured it was nothing after we checked and didn't see anything. Later that night, or I guess early morning, it came back, so we called the police. They didn't find anything, so we brushed it off. Since then, I have heard whistling like the one before about 4 or 5 times. The sound of the whistle was drawn out from high to low with some slight variations. Now, I just heard it a week ago and have been doing some research. I've come up with an entity called El Silbon, or something like that, nicknamed the Whistler. I don't know if this is real or not, and I would love to hear some opinions. Also, I should mention that we have a motion light in our backyard for our dogs, and it's been turning on a lot recently in the middle of the night. It's not triggered by small animals, which is about the extent of the wildlife we get in our neighborhood, so I'm not sure what to make of that. Oh, and side note, I live in Michigan. Is there any animals that whistle like that? Please let me know your thoughts. Thanks. Okay, so that was basically his story. So this one is actually something that's like happening in his actual home, but also seems to be like something is outside at the same time triggering his light, which is very creepy. I don't really know if El Silbon goes inside of people's houses or if it just sounds like it's coming from his basement. Like maybe it's actually coming from outside, but to him it sounds like it's from his basement. But alright, here is his update to this. It says, it's been a while since that original post, and luckily not much has happened. I'm just going to get into the few things that did happen. About a week after the original post, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she told me how she had heard this weird whistling the night before. I had never told her about what I've heard, so it can't even be a joke. I didn't hear it that night though. A couple weeks ago, I woke up in the middle of the night hearing strange noises coming from the attic. We occasionally get small animals in our attic, but this didn't really sound like that. I can't really describe it. I've also heard noises coming from my basement, but that could be completely unrelated. I don't know. Last night I heard the whistling again. It was like 11 p.m., I think, and it didn't last very long, but I got a video of it, so I'll post that. Please share your thoughts. And then he shows a video of it, which I will attach here so you guys can look at it. And that video is actually pretty creepy. Like, I know it's something that could be easily faked, obviously, but I don't know. I still thought that was really scary. And then somebody replied to this saying, well, that whistle of the video goes in a do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti pattern, so it matches the description of the whistler. His whistle goes in a basic note pattern, as you probably know. From what I have read, to protect yourself from the whistler, keep either a whip, a dog, or a hot chili pepper close. Not the band. Also, if you wake up by the sound of his whistle, it is said to bring good luck. From what I read, you probably shouldn't worry much except for your friend maybe. Try warning them. That is so creepy. I want to know what it actually is. Like, I don't... Saying that he's not lying about this, I would love to know what it could actually be. Like, maybe somebody is pulling a very elaborate prank, or maybe it's some kind of, like, I don't know, because the whistle is very distinct. Like, it can't just be like some kind of like bug making that noise or some kind of animal. I don't know, but I still thought that was a really creepy story. But yeah, guys, that is going to be it for Encounters with El Silbon. I don't know why I said encounters like that. I was gonna like say it with like a accent because I was preparing to say El Silbon. But let me know in the comments below if you guys know of any other things that I could cover of urban legends. I would love to know, as I said in the beginning, and let me know any stories that you guys know that have to do with El Silbon. If anybody in your family thinks that they have ever encountered El Silbon too. Guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video, but before I do end the video, today's comment shout out goes to this person right here. Thank you so much for leaving a nice comment. As always, I really do appreciate it, and it really makes my day. And if you want to be the next comment shout out, all you have to do is leave me a nice comment down below, and that's it. Thank you guys for making it all the way to the end of today's video. Hopefully I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to stay safe and be kind. Bye bye. I don't know why I struggled so much with this end scene.